it is that time of the week again that we bring on our mate, our big pommy mate, looks like Paddington Bear, but better looking. Lee Addison, rugbyleaguecoach.com.au. Mate, we're going to talk about the Ipswich Jets.
Before we do, because we're looking at their Colts, first of all, deep condolences to everybody at the Jets who knew Michael Purcell personally from his time there. Most of I didn't know the deceased, but most of the pictures I've seen this week have been of him in Jets gear. I'm friends with a lot of former Jets and current Jets, and they were posting it on Facebook. It's been deeply felt in the rugby league community. So I also know Ashy, the coach, personally, and I guess I wanted to give him a shout out on here too, because we're going to be having a look at his team. Can I do a bit more of a more positive shout out though, Taylor? Can I steal the QLS airwaves for that?
Absolutely, Lee. What have you got for us?
Have you ever been to a place called Mornington Island?
No, I haven't. Mornington, no, that's deep south, isn't it, in Hobart?
Is it you again? It's south of the hemisphere, yeah. Look, I've got the map here, right? Yeah, I can confirm it's somewhere around there. I'm going there in a few weeks to visit and coach at Mornington State School.
Wow.
I'm going to be spending a week there. I've done them a video explaining who I am, and basically, if they're good kids between now and then, they can do the week's training with us. And if they behave themselves in class, get all the work done, all those things that a good teacher like me would say, you never know, we might be able to even record a QLS from there, or we might be able to get an NRL player to talk to them on the live stream there. What do you reckon?
Wow, mate, that's amazing. And Mornington Island up north.
Yeah,
mate,
yeah. You sort of fly up to Cairns and then across a fair bit. And I must laugh. I mean, one of the people I've been dealing with there, he's got a Liverpool accent. He's from 40 minutes down the road from me back home.
You just get into all the cracks, you Poms.
Mark, his name, and he's an Everton fan from 40 minutes up the road from where I'm from. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I thought I'd give them a shout, and hopefully Queensland League Scene is now going to be huge on Mornington Island. Absolutely, mate. It's great to see rugbyleaguecoach.com.au expanding their wings out to those far-reach places, mate. It's great to see that you are contributing to those communities as well. So I think it's about time where you make up some sort of excuse, have a laugh, and ask me to share the screen. What do you reckon? Should we do that? What did your neighbour say? Have you got your number generator? Am I doing it randomly? I've not edited anything. I've got my number generator ready to go. I think this is the new way to do it. What have we been doing all this time? Can you see my screen, TB? Yeah, it is right there. Ipswich Jets versus Brisbane Tigers, Hastings Steering Colts. Can you see my number generator? I've got it up, ready to go. Oh, this trick again. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah. Ready? Generate. Background. Come up with 40. Where are we? Even you've disappeared now. 40 what? 42. 42. 42. 39. 40. We always get these little around the 40s or the mid of the game, don't we? 41.54. Let's have a look. I had a look at the result because I was quite keen, because we did Brisbane Tigers the week before, didn't we? They played the Jets. And it wasn't good viewing for the Jets. So I'm going to be coming in from this with a view to helping them. All right. I don't know where we are in this set. I think when you're leaking so many points, we probably need to focus a bit more on the defence, though. But we'll have a look. You're not getting any sound there, Taylor, are you? No, I'm not getting any sound. No. Good. I've muted it just in case. Anyway. Okay. This is. Just because a team isn't getting the results doesn't mean they're not coached well. And if I was pausing the tape here and not doing anything else, and the camera angle is causing us a bit of an issue because it's a bit lower, and I'm not just saying this because Ash is my mate,
and I've coached them in the past, but they're actually in decent shape. If I'm in attacking shape, if I'm going to be highly critical, I'd say too many of them are looking at the ball and the heads aren't swiveling. But I mean, we're 40 minutes in, and having looked at the result already, I can imagine self-esteem or team esteem might not be great. But I love the way those two players have pushed through there. I don't particularly understand why the half did a significant amount of pumps, and he should have got the ball straight out of his hands. Let's have a look. He's caught it in two hands. I would have liked him to have just pushed it straight out to number 12. When we were looking at from a pause point of view, number 12 wasn't the most alive, so maybe he hasn't turned up for his assignment, and then they've maybe overran each other. But that looks a bit like a timing issue there. And then I guess they're now just at 6s and 7s. We don't know what tackle it is in the set, so it's a bit hard to justify any decision on what they should do next. So let's just see what they come up with next. The shape they had earlier has sort of dropped off a little bit. The crash ball. Now, looking at a decision there for the crash ball, again, so hard with a camera angle, but all I see here is space, Taylor. There's one man there covering an awful lot. So maybe, I mean, look, giving it the big sort of brushing comment, we've only just seen a few seconds there, but straight away, I think, even though the shapes and everything are good, they're probably not looking up like they should in terms of where they should play. Looking at what I accidentally scrolled over to then, it looks like we might be walking into a Brisbane Tigers try. So let's have a look. Shape doesn't look too bad here again. The 9 rolls out. The 7 this time gives it to the fullback. I don't see any major dramas here until the kick. And then it is regathered by the Brisbane Tigers, number 7. That, you could almost put that down to unlucky. So with your permission, mate, I'm going to scroll to where the next sort of real action is. And now it's half time. Geez,
how about you just go, here you go, 10 minutes from now.
Yeah, your number generator's caused us some problems today, mate.
I know. Not as smooth as it's been in the past.
That's right. Now, it looks like we're going to get a defensive set, and I wouldn't mind seeing this because obviously the Tigers racked up the points. So let's see how they cough up the ball first. The Tigers are doing okay in the ruck control there, aren't they? Hopefully the Tigers got a bit more confidence in some of their options during this game too. Okay, the defence, because I guess this probably needs to tighten up a little bit. Let's have a look. I'm going to pause the tape and have a look. I've got to pull up spacings again, Taylor. Just having a look at the free throw. Again, the caveat I want to throw in is that the camera angle, but they look a bit wide. Let's have a look as the play unfolds. Look, I think they need probably a complete look at this defensive system because a few of the tackles there. So I'm going to go back into the.
It just the spacings really opened up between the 5'8" and the back row there, didn't they?
Yeah, and look at the distance in between. And this fella here, who I don't recognise who it is or what number yet, he's jumping in like Superman to make the tackle. I mean, that just tells you everything you need to know that the spacings are a bit wide. The other thing, his feet were wide. So I always used to say to my players, do you remember the game test match where the fielders used to stand you just plonk the fielder and they just stand there. But if you stand with your legs apart like that, it's very hard to change direction. And that was quite evident there. So the spacings are definitely a concern. So, we can't dispute that now, I don't think. The defensive line didn't really get up there. So they got up a few meters and waited. It was a chesty collision. It continues to be chesty collisions. The ruck control, I've got to be honest, is almost non-existent. They're just in all sorts in defence. I mean, there's probably there's no point going into the minutiae. They're at sixes and sevens. There's been 3 plays there, I think it is, and they've just been at sixes and sevens in each one. They get march back 10 metres to start the set again. I would like to see a firm green line there. Instead, I don't think they're in unison. I think there's something I just want to highlight there, and I want to pause the tape as we go across. Now, there's actually a difference in spacings there. So we've got nice small space in there, big space in there, looks like a shorter space in there, and then a massive space in there. And I always argue when you're that spread out, if you're doing, you should probably do up and in and close some spaces as you go. A bit like I always forget what's that instrument that sometimes people play in the street, and it goes longer at the end and longer and then short.
The accordion?
Accordion, yeah. Bit like that when the defensive line's moving around. I would like to see a nice line. I'd like to see all the hips pointing in the same direction. They're not. It looks to me like this fella's a few meters behind. I don't know who it is. The distance here between the centre and the wing is a real problem. There's plenty for the Tigers to go at there. There's some push coming from the inside. It's inconsistent. So whether these players can tackle or not is almost irrelevant because the system isn't quite in good nick, if you ask me. Now, I've paused the tape here. There's your test match fielder planting his feet down. He's stuck in that position. His feet are stuck in cement. The man inside him with the headgear doesn't look like he's very close to him, so he's got some ground to cover. The centre, he's also planted his feet and he's turned his hips in, so he's gone. So if this player decided to pass outside him, he would be in trouble. Luckily for him, the play is coming inside. But I can sort of predict the problems before I see them based on some of the patterns I've seen. There's another ruck there that is almost there's almost quick. Been no attempt. So let's watch that again in full speed. They've gone short. If they'd have gone long, they'd have been in some trouble. Look at the lack of ruck control. I mean, there's just there's nothing there. The crash ball comes up trumps this time. And I guess Taylor, it's always going to when you leave yourself so much work to do from your defensive structure.
Yeah, the ruck speed really got the better of them there. As soon as they hit the line, they were defending that crash ball, and it's just you cannot defend against front rowers or anyone with a bit of size and speed at your ruck if you're planted and you haven't moved up off your line.
And the spacings are such a problem. I mean, it's actually quite easy to get your nose through against a defence. Now, they're trying to deal with that problem here in terms of there's a lot of bodies in around this tackle, and one player, I think it's number 10, has shot out the line, trying to solve the problem a little bit, probably getting frustrated. And this is another problem I see. There's 3 players come into the defensive tackle and they all get off at exactly the same time. There was another tackle previously that there was 4 in. So I guess they're just lacking a little bit of structure in and around this. So Brisbane can basically get a roll on from here. Already, if we just count some numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 8 Jets there. 9, 10. There's 10 in the screen. Forget the N2 there. There's 8 Jets there. They're already starting to clock off a little bit on this short side. The collisions are poor. The ruck control's average. You know, statistically, tackle 2 is the most important if you're going to try and kill a set. And tackle 2 there was great for the Tigers. And they're off and running again, the Tigers, and 3 plays to the red line, to the 40 metres. You can tell the collisions and the spacings are a problem. Number 20 is lay on his back. And the Tiger, number 15, by the looks of it, has already nearly played the ball. These are all symptoms of poor ruck control. He's still lay on the floor, number 20, probably because of the way he went into the tackle. there we go. We have a little bit of ruck control there, and look at the outcome. A little bit of collision, and look at the outcome. So I don't think, Taylor, I need to look too deep into that video to assess that the Jets Colts have got a defensive issue. I'll actually, more than happy to suggest that they probably just need to spend a lot more time on killing the ruck. I actually think their attack, the way it's structured and shaped, probably doesn't need that much work now. They could probably do, how many rounds are they? 4, 5 left? Do 5 weeks of defence. Because your attacks can sometimes contribute to your defence, because if you keep coughing ball up in the wrong areas, then that puts more pressure on your defence. But ultimately, that system probably won't hold anything out for any period of time.
Yes, yeah, I agree. It just looks like there, Lee, I agree with you. If they just start one building block at a time, kill the ruck, give yourself a little bit more time, then they have a chance to execute a game defensive system if they have one in place. At the moment, they don't even get a real chance to execute anything they've been taught by the looks of things. So wise words there, Lee. Again, rugbyleaguecoach.com.au if you want any more of this analysis. Thank you very much, Lee. Thank you for letting us know about the boys at Mornington Island. I'm looking forward to possibly speaking to you from the Mornington Island State School
in a few weeks.
Get a couple of those lads up there to say g'day on the camera to the QLS.
Will do.
But yeah, very exciting times for rugbyleaguecoach.com.au, and that'll be it for this week. Thank you very much.